let's talk about how to hide a promiscuous past, because why wouldn't we? Now, this is a website called lols.com, and you might think, well, that's a parody website. But it's not. It's a bottom-of-the-barrel website. This website is sincere in what they're saying. They are just really gross in every way, shape, or form. And if you were to go through the various categories, I spent a lot of time looking at this website thinking, this can't be real, this can't be real. And it is. Because, I mean, if you go to like the business one, it's like, you know, how to improve your typing, how to do this, how to do that. You know, what in the beauty section, how to do your makeup, you know, all these things are otherwise sensible categories. And
what's this one under? How to be a whore? Like?
This one's under relationships, quote unquote, right? And if you scroll down a bit, you can just see the title is how to hide a promiscuous past, and it literally is how to get away with being a hoe. Sometimes the sex is so slamming you can't risk scaring him off. Here's what you got to do. Why would he be scared off?
I don't get it.
Well, let's begin. First of all, let's make one thing perfectly clear. There is absolutely nothing wrong with being a slut.
Yeah, there is.
If there's nothing wrong with being a slut, why are you going to be scaring him off by being a slut?
Why are you thinking of hiding it?
Yeah.
If it's neutral or positive, you have it out in the open.
Yep.
Doesn't matter to you.
The very premise of this article rejects that statement. So living with a doublethink, they carry on and say, the fact is you've got to kiss a lot of frogs before you find your prince. And in this year of 2022, people are free to experience sex no matter what their color and creed. Sorry, black people weren't allowed to have sex before now.
After the proclamation of Lincoln.
Yeah, the Emancipation Proclamation. Black people, you are no longer incels. I don't know why they think that that's the case. But of course, this is the very end point of modern progressivism. The brave new world. Of course, it's totally fine to be a slut. Why couldn't it be? But anyway, also, your current partner is the only person that you could possibly concern. And that means that a wild ride is by definition the past. Until the next one, and the next one, and the next one. I mean, like, who's going to break the habit of a lifetime? Why shouldn't he look at your past record and consider that to be the most accurate predictor of future events? There are loads of reasons why this is bad. But anyway, in an ideal world, men wouldn't care about our number whatsoever. Why would that be ideal if there's nothing wrong with it whatsoever?
Again, doublethink.
But seeing as this is still a white supremacist patriarchy...
Sure, this isn't satire.
Yep.
Then again, what am I saying? We have this crap every day from genuine people in academia. So...
Yep. We're going to go ahead and assert that men will absolutely find issue with a woman having scored numbers on the higher end of the slut spectrum. So if a black man is like, look, I actually don't want a woman who's got like triple digits.
I mean, we call it the body count.
Is he a white supremacist? John's like, yes.
He's a black white supremacist.
Yeah. So it's literally
He's
only...
Uncle Ruckus.
It's only white supremacist patriarchy that makes men not want to date a slut. That's it. You hearing that, Will Smith?
Hang on, but then why do all the white men who don't want a slut happily mix race? Race mixing. Upholding white supremacy by race mixing with prudent ladies of color.
I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway, number one. This is how you do it. Try to find out the number of people he slept with. Is that going to work, Callum?
What?
Yeah, you can't call me a whore because you're a whore.
No.
Why not?
I don't think it's the same.
Exactly. It's not the same at all. And they'll be like, well, it's a double standard. It's like, yeah, it's a double standard.
Men and women are different.
Yes.
They can't be the same.
Women gatekeep access to sex. Men gatekeep access to relationships, which is what they're complaining about now. If he finds out that you've had like double digits or triple digits, he's going to be like, well, hang on a second, I'm not getting in a relationship with you.
I'm going to gatekeep the relationship.
Exactly. Whereas if he has like managed to sleep with 100 women, well, that means that he's a very persuasive man because he's not gatekeeping that option. So it's a conquest for men, is it put simply, and that's just gonna make him look like a Chad. Also make you look like a whore. Number two, lie. It's that simple. Amazing advice. Just lie. Just lie. And then following...
It's like you're reading, like Satan himself has written an article.
Yes,
where it's like, if you tried lying, what about committing murder and adultery? If you covered your neighbor's ox.
Well, there are deadly sins, and okay, well, look, if you're going to lie, just lie more. But if you can't just directly lie, but just lie by omission, which is number three.
What?
Tell all if you must, but with a twist. Like promoting a couple of bonks to an old boyfriend status. That way you can get down to telling tales of about 2 or 3 men in total. So yeah, just lie. Just lie more. Lie even more. This is going to be a great relationship.
Wonderful relationship advice.
Yeah.
Tell lies to your partner until you die. I mean...
Begin by lying how much of a whore you are. So the next one, number 4, is tell the truth. Maybe.
I don't know.
We could do. Mm-hmm. Some men are actually not bothered by a woman's lively past, but those men are rare and not really worth much. But before you tell all, be sure that you're dating one as such. How do you find out? Well, is he hot? Don't know. But anyway, number 5, pretend past lovers were terrible. That's right. Look, I might be a whore, but they were all terrible in bed, darling.
Why'd you keep doing it?
That's a really good question.
Surely after the 5th, you're like, well, this is boring.
Even if you have decided to reveal everything, remember that when you did, you didn't enjoy it very much either. It's not that it didn't mean anything. It's just that with him, it means so much more. So tamper your truth or dare with a bit of baby, you're the best, always go down well. It's just more lying, basically. Just continue lying. Like, this is advice for people who are never going to succeed in relationship, ladies.
But also, that's never going to keep her happy. Like, she's now with a man who doesn't satisfy her or doesn't in the same
Well, no,
way
apparently the premise of this is the new guy is good. So,
but I thought they premised it on the guy being hot, and that was it. So it wasn't.
But also good in bed.
But not good enough.
Well, no, it's not that he's not good enough. It's that he's great in bed. Oh, I really like this guy. I want to stay with this guy, because that's literally the only consideration. And it's just like, okay, but what happens when he finds out you're a hoe? He's going to leave. Oh, God, I better think of some lies, quick.
Oh, okay.
So, you lie, say he's the best, all the others are terrible, and then you say they abused you. More lies.
I may have had sex with 30 men in the past, but trust me, they were all rapists. Like, it's just, what?
I mean, don't let your man think too critically when you're being creative with the truth. Toy with his emotions by hinting or even saying outright that a lot of these old boyfriends abused you. This isn't a parody. This is just evil. What do you think of that?
Deeply, deeply wrong. I don't know what else to say. I mean, like I said, it was like Satan has written this.
Yes.
So like, here's your relationship advice. Just tell lies, be a hoe, and then, I don't know, say that you were raped 30 times instead of you had 30 men.
Yep. And then you want to start gaslighting it next, of course, right? So do your cyber OPSEC and do it right. You already knew to prune any evidence from your social media, but I bet you didn't know that you should also create a plausible cover story for missing information or blocks of time. I'm sure that the boyfriend's just doing exactly what you're doing on his timeline. Blaming it on an ex hacking and vandalizing your accounts after a bad breakup is good old trusting. I mean, you may as well. My rapist ex hacked my accounts and vandalized them. That's how it worked, darling. Trust. You must, the more elaborate and pre-planned the story, the harder it will be to crack your new dude's prodding questions. Have an answer to every question and most importantly, have fun. This is the advice for a psychopath.
Have fun lying and misleading your partner.
Yeah.
As if it's a game.
It's awful.
As if it's actually a game you're meant to be playing for fun as well.
Yeah. And number 8, of course, always bring trusted friends in on the conspiracy. Why not? One more thing, make sure your friends are briefed. You don't want to be in a social situation where one of them suddenly blurts out, do you remember when you were in Ibiza and you did it with 3 men in one night in front of your man?
I remember when you were gang raped in Ibiza. That's the story, right? Like,
I mean, it's just this web of awful lies.
but imagine if imagine if you were a girl and another girl came to you and said, just lie and say I was raped in the past. I mean, not only is she obviously a psychopath, but like you'd surely also want to cut ties immediately.
Yeah. Or you get entangled in this giant web of lies that just seems like way more hassle. It's like, look, Samantha, could you just not be a hoe? Or just admit.
Or just come to peace with it.
Yeah, exactly. Just come to peace with it, right? But what I love about this, if you scroll down just a little bit more, John, the end of this article. P.S. Did you know you can order a quick test for 10 STDs that includes early detection of HIV RNA? The tests are performed by a CLIA certified lab, and the process is confidential. Look out for your health as well as your partner's health. Get 10% off with our code. That's their shill. STD checks.
I mean, look, if this is satire, that's brilliant satire there, but it's also utterly believable.
Well,
I can imagine someone use code POSO or whatever. To
yeah.
Well, I suppose the code would be Vice or Vox.
Yeah, well, the comments don't seem to be taking this as satire. They seem to be taking this as statements of advice. First of all, let's make one thing perfectly clear in quotes. There's absolutely nothing wrong with being a slut. Preach.
Yes, queen.
Yeah, slay. Get lots of
You're hiding it again. Like,
yeah. This one apparent woman, this one in fact, I've bagged over 650 well-endowed manlets in my search for HMV, and I get so triggered when white supremacists call me a slut for just having fun.
why is she denigrating her own past conquests as manlets if she's proud of it?
Don't know.
It's like, yeah, I have terrible taste in men. I went through 600 people who were unsatisfactory.
Maybe, but Richard replies, I'm very impressed.
500, you're like...
Absolutely nothing wrong with a woman that builds up as much experience as possible, especially one that likes to wear Queen of Spades tattoo. I'd love to talk to you. But there are lots of people.
Literally an account called Slay Queen.
Yes. Lots of people taking this seriously. So I was like, right, okay, maybe people are taking this seriously. But like this one, the only ones that are going to care about body count are insecure dudes. You an insecure dude, Callum?
No, I saw a comment in the chat just as you said that as well. Someone saying, men love sluts. We just don't marry them.
The root of not wanting to be a slut is being threatened because you aren't her best lover. That's it. That's literally it. Literally it. There's no other plausible reason that you could think of that you wouldn't want a woman who everyone in your town has already had sex with. What are you, a white supremacist?
Could you imagine going to the local bar and just all the guys kept saying hi to your wife?
No.
I'd be like, yeah, I just can't imagine anything worse.
There's nothing sacred about any of this.
No.
You feel like Will Smith.
Oh, God.
I don't give an F how many dicks you've sucked as long as you can get sloppy with it. I have no need to be the best you've ever had. Just as long as I can have my way with your body, I'm good. That's the level of Redditor that is engaging with this.
But it also goes back to the men loving sluts, not marrying them. It's like, yeah, we're good because we're just having fun, and that's it.
The only men who would support anything like this are very low-value men who hold nothing sacred about themselves and therefore can hold nothing sacred about anyone else. And so all they're thinking is, well, I might get to have sex with this woman, and therefore everything she has done is nothing that I'm going to judge her for.
Well, it won't matter in 24 hours. Who cares?
Exactly. Because that's as far as it's going to go for these people. But anyway, yeah, so we'll leave that one there. Just
A hot pile of trash.
absolutely disgusting. I mean, this one.
What's this one? Common sense.
Yeah, this article is disgusting. Women like this
Preach.
are why men don't get... Yeah, exactly.
Yes, King.
Your filth lurking in the shadows, trying to pounce on a man and abduct him with lies, since you know he wouldn't bat an eye at you if he saw you in the light. Hope your eggs shrivel up in your meaningless life with all that sex you're having, since that's all you'll ever be good for. While your friends who are relationship-oriented post on their Instagram how happy they are with their children on vacation, you'll be alone in your apartment wishing you never had that abortion, you sluts. Well, I mean...
I take it back. That's definitely a woman that's written that.
It might be, but it's just like, wow, literally, like you said, written by Satan. It's hard to imagine. And the whole article is just an ad for STD tests at the end. Well, I mean, you're going to attract the right audience, I guess.
Oh, God. Do you think the STD clinic played for this article?
Maybe.
Else to reach the
Maybe
horse.
they did.
This is why it's fine to be a whore, so come and check out our STD clinic. To be honest, that's smart marketing, if so.
That is, but it's also it's unbelievably gross. And I think it's probably the worst thing I've ever read as well. Just literally just lie. Just say they abuse you. What are you talking about? Just keep lying. Get all your friends to lie.
Just the idea that you could lie about, I've been an abuse victim of 30 men. Because remember, it's got to be a high body count.
Yeah.
That's the assumption. So presumably you've been raped or abused by like tens and tens of men. And then you found Mr. Right, and that's how that story went, and that's believable.
Yeah. I mean, you could, and here's a radical idea, not be a total whore, and then when you find Mr. Right, you don't have to construct a vast labyrinthine network of lies in order to try and make sure that he doesn't leave you because you're disgusting. Also, you won't need to order very many STD tests.
No, you don't have to you don't have to worry about the 10% off.
Yeah.
Also, the anons. Just,
Oh, yeah.
This is so mean. But of course.
Yes, but can hardly blame them.
If you appreciated that segment from the podcast The Lotus Eaters, you can go to lotuseaters.com to get access to all the premium content we have on the site, such as Carl's interview here with Calvin Robinson. And if you want to follow Calvin, you can always follow him on Getter at Calvin Robinson on Getter. Thank you and goodbye.